Okay, so this lesson will be mainly focusing around the concept of basics of the logs. So there are a couple of things that we need to firstly understand. Um, the major objective or major challenge that we get is that, uh, I mean, we don't really know how do we convert from an exponent relation, exponent, or logs. Like you don't know how to convert exponential relation to log and log relation to exponent. Now, firstly, what is log and why do we need it? If that's the question, what is logs and why do we need it? Now, as you know that if you look at sometimes the graph of an exponential function, like which we did earlier, this is like very high value for some, like limited x value itself. Or there are some, like you notice that sometimes the graph is like here, it like the values are very small. For example, if you're measuring the size of a bacteria or numbers of bacteria, these sizes or numbers are very large or very small. So what we need is we need a better system. Like for example, let's say if I had to represent a length of 10 to the power minus 3, which is 0.001, let's say centimeter or something like that, on a graph. Now, practically, it is very difficult. So what we do is we use something called as logarithmic scale or log skills. Logarithmic scales or log skills. At this stage, you might not be aware about it, but hopefully, like as we later progress, you will be clear with why did we use exponent to log and log to exponent conversion. So as a simple thing is like if you look at fraction to decimal and decimal to fraction, how you convert, they just quantities look different, but you can always interconvert among themselves. Same ways, an exponential relation can be converted into logarithmic relation. Now, if I say that an exponential relation is converted into logarithmic relation, what does it mean? Now, if you look at, if you got a to the power x equals to y, or y equals to a to the power x, this is called a exponential relation. Now, before I go ahead to convert logs and exponent, like they are interconversion, first understand how we write log and what are the significance of the things. So let's say log is written as log of certain number to certain base. Like for example, here base is a. Same way, log will have a base. Your exponent has a base a. Here you will have some base, like which is you're going to learn. Now, how do we read this? Now, let us say if you have got log of 3 to the base 4. So you read it as log 3 to base 4. The log 3 to the base 4. This is how you read it. So now coming back to the conversion here, like how do we convert an exponential relation to logarithmic relation? Now let us say if you got 3 to the power x equals to 5, and I wanted to write down this exponential relation into logarithmic relation. Now I would categorize this thing as in different terms. Let's say if you got a to the power x is y, I would say this is, let's say, my answer. This is let's say power, and this is your base. So now when you're converting an exponential relation to a logarithmic relation, remember that power equals to log of answer to the same base that you had written this exponent to. So this is base. So if I wanted to convert this a to the power x equals to y relation into logarithmic relation, so what we do is you're going to write down this as x equals to, so power equals to, so power is x, equals to log of answer is y, to the base a. So firstly, like, how do we convert? Now, how do we read this? If you got a to the power x is y, then x is equals to log of y to the base a. If, for example, here, if I had to write down exponential relation into logarithmic relation, so 3 to the power x, if it is equals to 5, I can write down this as x equals to log of 5 to the base 3. If I had, let's say, an exponential relation, like for example, 7 to the power 3x minus 2 equals to 8, and I wanted to convert this into log relation. So 3x minus 2 can be written as log of 8 to the base 7. So remember that this is the power equals to log of answer to the same base, answer to the same base. Now you might be wondering, how do we calculate these values like log 8 to the base 7, log 3 to 5 to the base 3? These can be done directly on technology calculator, and you can solve for x properly. My objective at this stage is to convert an exponential relation into logarithmic. So let's take one or two more examples. Now, for example, let's say I have got 3 times 5 to the power of x equals to 8. And I wanted to write down this as an logarithmic relation. So this is going to become 5 to the power x equals to log of, first you divide 8 here, make sure that your expression is of the form a to the power x is b. So here you divide this first, so it'll become 5 to the power x is 8 upon 3. So 5 to the power x is 8 upon 3. First I'm going to write down. So 5 to the power x is 8 upon 3. And then after that, you apply the logic. So 8 upon 3. So x is going to be log of answer, which is 8 upon 3 to the base 5. Base is written as a, below this number. So remember that, like, this is how you convert an exponential to logarithmic relation. Also, let's take some more example. Sometimes you will have like something like this: 3 times 7 to the power 2x minus 1 equals to, let's say, 8. And you have to solve for x. So in this case, what do we do is, we'll first take 3 other side. So it'll be 7 to the power 2x minus 1 equals to 8 over 3. And then 2x minus 1 equals to log of 8 over 3 to the base 7. And then you bring 1 to the other side. So 2x equals to 1 plus log 8 over 3 to the base 7. And then x will be 1 plus log 8 over 3 to the base 7 and divided by 2. And this thing you can put directly on calculator, which I'm going to show it to you in a bit. So this is the basic, conversion of exponential relation to logarithmic relation. So since we have now learned about how do we convert an exponential relation to logarithmic relation, now we'll be looking at, like, obviously working backwards to get a log relation into exponential relation. Now, for example, if I got, let's say, log a to the base b equals to c. Okay. Now, if there is no base, like for example, if I'm just writing log a, by default base is taken as 10. Now, if I'm just writing log 10, log, let's say, 5, or lg5, sometimes you'll see lg, it is also called as log to the base 10. So if there is no base, by default, you take it as 10. But coming to this part is, like, if you've got an on logarithmic expression and you wanted to write to exponential format. Okay, so in this case, this base just pushes the other stuff in the right, and the answer, like, you're just undoing the earlier part. So it'll be b to the power c. So if you got log a to the base b equals to c, you can write down as a equals to b to the power c. For example, if I have got log x to the base 7 equals to 3, I can say x is 7 to the power 3. If I have got log of 5x to the base of 4 equals to, let's say, 8, 5x will be equals to 4 to the power 8. So x is going to be 4 to the power 8 upon 5, and you get the answer. So this is like converting an exponential form to log and log to exponential form. Now I'm going to take some critical problem solving, like, which will mix up both of these to make you comfortable. So this will be about the problem solving. So now first one I'm going to take is, let us say if you got log of x plus 1 to the base nothing is equals to 2. And I wanted to find out, wanted to convert this exponential log relation into exponential relation first. So here, as you see that there is no base, by default you take the base 10. This pushes back 2 in power. So x plus 1 equals to 10 squared. So x plus 1 is nothing but 100, and x plus x is 99. So that's the value of x. You can use the basic skills that um, I mean interconversion of exponent to log and log to exponent to solve the problem. Now, lots of times in the problems that involve exponents, you will get a relation something like this. Let's say you've got 3 to the power of x equals to, let's say, 7, and you directly put it on calculator and try to do it. So in such case, how do we do it? You can just write down, convert exponent to logarithmic. So x power equals to log of answer, which is 7, to the base 3. So log of 7 to the base 3 is your answer. So this answer can be calculated on calculator, which I'll be showing it to you shortly. Now, coming to, let's say, one more problem on like elimination of logs. So suppose if we got log of x plus 7 to the base of 5 equals to, let's say, x, or let's say 2. How do we do this question? So x plus 7 equals to 5 to the power 2. So x plus 7 is 25. So this is how you do the conversion of exponent to log and log to exponent. As a summary, what you got to remember is, if you got a to the power x is b, this can be written as x equals to log of b to the base a. And if you have got this, you can write down like this, which is the backwards form. So this is how you convert exponents to logs and logs to exponents. And I hope this is clear.